Very exciting day today, guys. Some things are going to change on the channel. But what's it going to be? I'll tell you shortly. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I know it's been a long time, but we're finally back. I'm happy to announce that we're going to be making a quick journey across 2 states to do something for the channel that we've been trying to figure out for a long time. You guys were super helpful with helping me make this decision and kind of pick the right platform for what we should do and make forward. It was overwhelming on the shorts what you guys believed would be the best vehicle for the channel, and so that's what we did. We made it happen. Like I said, it was 2 states away, but I think you guys are going to be happy and surprised. I also think we're going to have some amazing content moving forward with it. We'll be able to see the build process all documented and segmented, and then obviously you'll be able to see what this thing is capable of doing. Anyway, sit back and enjoy. Quick update. This is a 100-mile update, and the first thing I want to do is give McCarty Lane, Andrew, and Brandy a shout out. They were absolutely amazing. Even though I came from Texas, 2 states over to get this vehicle done and purchased, they were absolutely accommodating the entire time, and I couldn't think of more. I had 2 friends come with me to help drive both vehicles back, and they treated them just like they were buying the car as well. So, again, if you're looking for a Gladiator, if you're looking for a Jeep or any other Dodge product, McCarty Lang in Springdale, Arkansas. Amazing. Now, this truck, I will tell you this. Remember, just a little over a year ago, I purchased a brand new 2020 JLU Rubicon. I will tell you this right now. This truck rides smoother than it did from the factory stock. I noticed a little wheel deflection and some roughness on some of the bumps, and I quickly looked at the displays and realized that they've got 45 pounds of air in the tires. These are the Wild Peak MTs, fantastic tire. Not something I've run, but something I've seen several other people run, and they really are a good Jeep light mid-sized truck tire. That being said, this thing does drive well. Now, obviously, it's got the wander like a Wrangler does, but it's not as severe. I can assure you that. This guy, and I'm going into headwind, and I don't know much how you can hear him right now, but it is pretty significant, and it doesn't wander as bad. Now, it still has the Jeep wander, but I'll tell you this, it's dealable. Now, there is a break-in period. This had 10 miles on when I got it. But being a diesel, per manual and per the service department at McCarty Lane, they said it's not really subjected to the same break-ins as the 3.6 gas motor is. Remember that, guys. I'm not saying go crazy, but they really kind of suggest you go ahead and drive it as normal. Now, that doesn't mean the same thing with towing. Give it the first 500 miles before you go towing anything significant. After that, it's pretty much ready to go. With that being said, always check with your service department, but kind of what I do is even with my big diesels at work, kind of what I do is the first 500 miles, I don't use them to tow at all. And then after the 500 miles, I go ahead and have all their fluids changed, including differentials. And then once that's done, I go ahead and hook up light trailers to them, and I start dragging those trailers everywhere. All the time. No matter where I go, I pull a light trailer. And there's a different type of load that is put on by having something being towed it's something you put in the bed or something like that, and it really does help. And I've seen that it's just helped create extra longevity in the drivetrain and the motors in my full-size diesel trucks. Now, that's the same thing I'm kind of going to do with this. And I'm kind of treating it the same. I'm not using cruise control, so that's why you can hear the tires oscillating from time to time, going faster and slower, because I'm varying the speed anywhere from 80 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour, depending on the traffic behind me. But I am on a turnpike, so the speed limit is 85, and people are flying by me. So now that I've got a big open area, I'm kind of going back and forth and massaging the speed and kind of just letting this thing break in easily. Watching the temps, monitoring the trans temps, the engine temps, your oil pressures, things. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I'm just super impressed with this thing, and now that I got past that, we had a highway patrol come by and was trying to get some guy that you saw him in the video go past me on that Mustang. At that point, I was doing probably 77 or 78. He went past me like I was sitting still, so that trooper went and got him. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys kind of this side of Arkansas. If you've never been on the northwest side of Arkansas, and how pretty it is, and of course, kind of be the northeast side of Oklahoma. It really is a pretty place here, and that's my first take on this thing on the freeway and what it's done so far. So once I get some of the air out of these tires, it probably won't be so damn bad, huh? So this is kind of the riding position, you know, just like a JL. It looks like it's pretty much similar to it exactly. And to be honest, I mean, you can see, I mean, this is a pretty rough road, to be honest. Not bagging on the roads here in Arkansas. They've actually been really good. They're actually done in concrete versus asphalt like most of ours in Texas. But I would say that the overall ride has been better. Now, we are in a headwind right now, and it's not much. It's probably, 15 and 20 miles an hour. Not like what we get in the Texas Panhandle, but significant enough. And to be honest, I'm super comfortable riding it. It's not cumbersome. It's not slinging me all over the place like I did in the JL. And I have very little arm movement. I mean, you can see my arm. And now we do have the because this is like a washboard highway, just not real rough. And I'm not sure why it's like that. I can see it's pleated for some reason, and I don't know if they get a lot of ice around here or what. But it definitely has that feel. Now, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that 99% of the harshness that I'm getting in some of the bumps here is from the fact that they have the factory tires set to 45 PSI. So why they have them that way, and maybe you guys can comment on the video below, or maybe they're supposed to set them like that. My JL, I think the factory recommendations on its factory tires were 37. And so I'm not real sure these are 45, but they are like bowling balls right now, so maybe that's some of it. But as far as my first impressions, it's almost like being in my JL, almost exactly. But the driving experience is not, because the ease of driving this with this diesel power plant versus the 3.6, even the 3.6 with the RIP supercharger, is far much enjoyable. It's easier to drive this truck, even it being a truck. It's more relaxing to drive this truck. There's far more steering control in it. They both feel really planted, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people feel like they have this sway. I never really felt that in my JL, but maybe that's because people are used to going from cars and then they jump in a Jeep. They've never been in off-road vehicles or vehicles that have more articulation, therefore you're going to have a little more sway in the vehicle. I'm not sure what it is, but this is, in my opinion, incredibly planted. And that's not to say that there's not some body movement from the crosswind, but it's definitely not like a JL, I assure you. And then when I'm saying the ease of driving this thing, if I need to accelerate the speed up to pass anybody, I literally just put my foot down a little bit and it just starts going. I just went from 76 to 81 a slightly touched up throttle. Much different than the JL, where you've got to go ahead and bring it up to RPM, get it to go, get in passing gear, move over, and then slow down. This just does it with ease. And again, we're talking about a motor with 107 miles on it. So I'm trying to be as easy as I possibly can. That was 81, now I'm back to 74. And I don't extend into a specific speed limit any longer than, a few minutes. Say if I'm taking up to 77, I hold that for about 2 minutes and then I take it back down. 80, 2 minutes, take it back down. And I'm kind of just oscillating the speed and doing the very best I can, considering the trip home, this first trip is going to be 7 hours. So I'm trying to do the best I can to be as easy as I can, as frequent as I can. And then of course, remember, on new diesel motors, a good friend of mine told me this, and then I did read it in the manual, that after a long highway rides on new turbos, and even later, even in any diesel model, if you want to prolong the life of your turbo, then do yourself a favor. If you've been on the highway 6 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, pull over and let that thing idle down and cool off naturally. It'll save the life of that turbo exponentially. So I don't get to do that because this trip is 7 hours. Now, here in about 2 hours, we're going to stop in Oklahoma City. We're going to go through Tulsa first, then Oklahoma City. We'll have dinner there, and I'll let it cool down for a few minutes before I totally shut it off, because we'll come right off the freeway. So I'll let it cool down, then shut it off, and it'll set down and be able to cool down for probably an hour during dinner, and then we'll fire it back up. But this is kind of like my first impression video of the Gladiator, just getting it, just picking it up, and then of course, kind of like the break-in process, and in a vlog format, basically. I just kind of wanted you guys to come along and see how it works and see how it does. And not everybody gets a vehicle that has to drive 7 hours. Could I probably have gotten one closer? Yes. I would have had to order it, then it was 8 to 10 weeks, and that's not something I could wait for, the channel could wait for. So we did this instead. That being said, I'm totally fine with this. You guys have heard it in my videos before. For the last 12 years, I've been traveling the state of Texas. So 7 hours for me is to 1 or 2 or 3 of one of my networks. So it's not uncommon for me to do that 2 or 3 times in a week. So I'm completely used to driving. The oscillating of speed and, doing 69 and then see I'm doing 63 right now. And then back up to highway speeds is weird because I'm used to throwing my big power stroke on 85 and locking it there and running 7 hours straight. So that's kind of weird, but I'm also getting to enjoy Arkansas. And you guys, just so you know, this is my first time in Arkansas. It's beautiful here. It is absolutely beautiful. And everybody's going to be very nice. Everybody's going to be very nice. But anyway, I'll continue on with the videos. I see things and stuff that I like. The main things, I will tell you this. Here's the Grand River. It's beautiful. I wish you guys could see it. It's huge and it's beautiful. But the biggest important things to me when I was looking for this was A, the diesel, and then secondly, the Rubicon option for the locking diffs, and then B, the front-facing trail camera. I know that sounds crazy, but it was very important to me because I installed one of my 2020 JL, an aftermarket setup, because I wheel a lot by myself, and so I need to be able to see approach angles and stuff like that, or in fog drop-offs and cliffs, and it really does matter. If you haven't done it, I'm telling you, maybe you're lucky enough and you have a spotter that's seasoned with you all the time. I don't always. My missus is pretty good about doing good and putting me where I need to go to take drop-off angles and stuff like that. But the peace of mind to have that front trail camera or the front integrated camera like I installed, it's huge because I can't, once I lift this and put it back up like Titus is on a 4.5-inch lift on 40s or 37s at the very least. I can't see past that hood and I sure can't see what's going on down there. So it gives me the ability to see what I can't see, and so that really helps. The next thing, the sound in this vehicle. They've definitely fixed a lot of the leaks, but what I'm speaking about is the sound system. This has the Alpine system in it, and it is leaps and bounds above the stereo system in a 2020, the premium sound system in a JL, in the other Wrangler, or in the Wrangler. It just sounds that much better. They refined the door speakers. They did better front pillar speakers. They did better sub-extension speakers. The deck is better. They just did a lot better. And I'm happy with it because now you don't have to have it blaring to be able to hear even when it's windy outside. So that makes it nice. As far as that's about as much as I can think of for now. I'll jump back in obviously as I start going through this. We're now at 115 miles on the clock. And we've got another 403 to go. So stick with me, guys. Update number 2. Super pissed. You won't even believe this, and I know that this is a harsh lighting situation. That's why it's causing the flash to come on. But 300 miles into the trip, and I literally have an engine code already. Stopped, pulled over, tried the reset thing, it didn't work. But anyway, I'm continuing on. It's running fine. All the engine temps, coolants, trans, oil temperature, oil pressure, everything's fine. There's no lugging. Everything seems to feel fine. So, I don't know where we go from here. Obviously, it's going to go straight to the dinner. Guys, back on it. I got a call, sorry. Anyway, what I was saying was, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on. There's 355 miles on this thing. It was brand new when I got it several hours ago, and now it's already got an engine code. Not sure what that means. It's running fine, it feels fine, it shifts fine. All the engine temperatures and stuff are fine. So I'm not really sure what it can mean. But I do want to point out, and I wish that stupid light wouldn't come on. I even disabled the flash on the camera. But I will tell you this, the LED package on the Jeep is definitely worth it. 100%. The fog lights, the headlights, every bit of it is worth spending a little extra money to do it, because you would upgrade them anyway. These come from the factory and they are actually really good. It's hard to tell, and maybe it's not. I know that there's a glare on the screen, and unfortunately, we'll try to make it through this part of it quickly, but it does look amazing. Anyway, that's probably it from the road, guys. I'll kind of give a synopsis of what's going on with the Jeep, the new Jeep, pretty quick. I'll try to get it back, get it scanned, and then get it to the dealer, hopefully within Monday or Tuesday. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and do me a favor, do a lot of comment. Any questions you have, please shoot them to me. It took me a while to decide what I wanted to do, and I went this route. I'm still not upset about the code, because I read some of the reviews knowing that there would be a potential to have a code because of the regen process, but nevertheless, here we are again with Jeep number 2 with issues. So brand new, 357 miles and an engine code. So comment, let me know what you think it could be. Hopefully I'll have some kind of idea soon and I can report back to you guys. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. And I guess that's it. Hey, thanks a lot. Well, we're home. Pretty crazy, huh? All this for that. And I will tell you this, anybody that's looking to get a Jeep JL, if you don't get a Jeep JL with that 3.0 diesel in it, you're crazy. I'll tell you this thing is going to be wonderful, and it's going to be a great addition to the channel. I can't wait to show you guys how capable this thing is, and again, show you how good it is. Now, I know there's an engine code. We're not sure what it is, but it is impressive. I am very, very happy with it. But you can see it, and even though Titus is on 32-inch tires and this is on the 33-inch Falcon Wild Peaks, you can see the height difference just at the tail light. There's 3.5 inches of lift on that, with also 4.5 inch rock crawler springs. So there's a lot more capability beating that guy, but this guy will soon be there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and this is the direction we're going, guys. See you soon.